Hello and bonjour, and welcome here to my Facebook Live. My name is Denise Willerton, and I am an independent, frazzled right now, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Actually, I'm not frazzled. I'm fine. Just a little, I feel bad because it's 4 o'clock and I was supposed to be here at 3:30, so I apologize for that. So for those who came to my class last night, this is what I am going to showcase today, and because I can't see on my Apple TV, I am not sure if you're seeing what I'm seeing right now. Oh, you are. There I am. So anyway, this is what we're going to do. So if I slip this belly band off, and in all of that, you know what? I did not get a chance to do a belly band for part of the class, so I may not get to this. And so this card opens like so. All right? So super fun to do. And I looked at myself here. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm a mess. I'm a mess. I need a haircut so bad, so bad. And I'm just, yeah, I don't know what to do with myself. So I apologize for the way that I look. Anyway, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? I'm excited to show you how I did this. So if you are on Facebook, select follow and or select like and then follow, and whenever I am live, you will get a little notification and then you'll know that I'm live, which would be wonderful. I'd love to see you back here again. If you are on YouTube, hit the subscribe button below, and if you hit the little bell, you'll get notification whenever I post anything. Without any further ado, let's get to this gorgeous card, okay? Coming down. Here we go. So what we're going to do is, because I want to show you kind of from start to finish here, you are going to take a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, whatever size or whatever color you choose. So 8.5 by 11, but I want a true square. So we're going to cut this 8.5 by 8.5, okay? So we're going to get that into our trimmer at 8.5. You want to make sure that you are on your cut, and I'm going to leave that up here now because I'm finished cutting. This is not going to quite work for your belly band because, as you can see, it's not going to go around. So you would need a larger sheet. But now we're going to start scoring, okay? You can do this without a scoreboard if you want. What you're going to do is you're going to take these two corners and you are going to bring them together. But I'm a little bit fussy and I want a good score, okay? So here's my track on my scoreboard. I want this corner and that corner to be in the track. So I've got that there and that there. I'm going to close this. I'm just going to jiggle that to make sure that I am in a good position. Okay, now we're going to score. My cut blade is up here. Please be careful that you don't accidentally grab your cut blade. If you keep doing that, just take it off your track, and then you know for sure that all you have is your score. So we're going to score from that corner to that corner. Now I want to do the same thing here. So I'm going to score from that corner. Just want to make sure that these little pin marks or corners are right in my track. Okay, so there's that. So here's what we have so far. I have scored that way. Now I want to score down the center. So I'm going to be scoring at 4 inches. Okay, so same, wait a second. Is it 4? Because you know what? I need to be in my, it is not 4, it is 4 1/4. 4 1/4. 4 1/4. I want to meet my center. I want 4 1/4 again. Everything you do, you're basically going to do it twice. Is anybody doing this with me? So now we've got this star shape, okay? So now this we want right there. So this is, if I measure this corner to this score line is 4 1/4. So half of that is 2 3/4, right? Am I right? Is that 2 3/4 halfway? Yeah, it looks like it. Actually, let's cheat. It is not. It is, let's see. I scored at 4 1/4. Then I'm going to score at 2 1/8. So 2 1/8. Okay? Right. 2 1/8 is half of 4 1/4. So I want to do 2 1/8 4 times. 2 1/8. 2 1/8. And if you don't know what 2 1/8 is, at your 2 inches, here's your 2 inches, your next is 1/16, your next line. Your next line is 1/8. Okay? So 2 1/8 and 2 1/8 4 times. Okay? So here's what it looks like, and I'm sure you can't see it. Okay? Now what I want to do is, let's get a pencil. So this little box here, I don't know if you're going to see that. This little box is in the corner, okay? So I pencil marked the edge of that score line and the edge of that score line. And now what I want you to do is I want you to put this corner and that corner back into your score machine. So you're basically scoring that way, okay? Makes sense? And you can do all of this by hand if you want. You're just not going to get as nice of a score. So again, so now what it looks like is I've got this little X happening here, okay? So this score line and that score line. I want to make sure when I look in my track that that's where I am, and I'm doing that to all 4 corners. Okay? All 4 corners. I'm kind of a back and forth kind of score it person. So that is complete. That's all our scoring. Now you probably will not see it very well here, but here it is. Whoops, here it is, and this one is burnished. Okay, so you're gonna see it better. But now what we want to do is we want to take all of these score lines that we scored and we want to give them a really good burnish. And your card is going to come together nicer if you give everything a good burnish. So I'm folding one way, then I'm folding the other way again, okay? So everywhere that I've scored, so now I've done my big plus. Why don't we bring this to end 1/8 in, and be gentle with your cardstock. Don't force it because you'll cause it to crack. Do you see what I'm doing? Now let's go this side. I'm just gently manipulating it, helping it. The score line is already there, but let's be gentle. Okay, and now I've done those, so let's do these 2 1/4. And there's really no order that you need to follow when you are doing your burnishing. I'm not sure what that is. A little bit of adhesive from my table. Yeah, there's no set way that you have to score. You can just as long as you are burnishing all of your score lines. Now let's do some of our, I want to make sure that these 2 corners here match up within reason. Give that a burnish. Let's go the other way. Give that a burnish. And now we have just this one left because we've done them all. Except for our little top corners. So now all the inside has been done. Remember this one here? Let's do those. One way and then the other. We're getting into some fun here in a few minutes, girls. This certainly doesn't look like anything yet. It will soon become something like that. So fun. Okay, so now this is what you are, this is what you have, okay? Now we want to fold this up, okay? So if we kind of go like bring this up towards yourself, and or towards each other, I mean, and then bring this, I want to make sure that that folds there. Did I forget I did too. You know what? I need to, so remember our plus? We've got our plus. I have to go from this corner of the plus to this corner of the plus. I forgot that part. So there is a lot of scoring, but once that's done, you're good to go. So again, I am going from, what did I just say? I am going from this corner to this corner, okay? So here's my plus in the middle, here to here. There to there. And you want to make sure that you have your score blade. Top of this plus to the top of that plus. Spin it around. Top of this plus to the top of that plus. I don't know if that's making any sense to you. Top of this to the top of that. Now we are done. We just have like a ton of little triangles everywhere. We want to burnish that. And this one. And you know what? I'll walk you through this again. I'll walk you through this again. And maybe what I'll do is, I should have done it on white. Okay? So we've got 8.5 by 8.5. Score in half. Score in half, score in a quarter, score in a quarter, score in a quarter, score in a quarter. Now you're going to do all of your diagonals, okay? Corner to corner, corner to corner, corner to corner, corner to corner, corner to corner. You're going to do your little tips. Everything should look like a whole bunch of little triangles, okay, when you are complete. This is going to fold up. And this is going to, it's going to fold. It is going to fold. Come on, baby. Once your design paper is on here, these are going backwards, okay? There we go. These two corners are coming in. This is coming in. This is coming in, okay? Have I thoroughly confused you? These are going out, okay? This is what it's going to look like so, okay? That is going in and in, and that is going in. Come on, work with me here. I did not, I promise, I did not have this trouble when I did this yesterday. Okay, so that's what it is going to look like. Okay, so these corners are coming in. Okay, but now let's start decorating it. Okay, and then you'll see it come to life. This is from the Perennial Essence. These corners represent this right here. Okay. Let's take the belly band off. So see how I folded these in? You can leave them out, but I wanted them, so I actually adhere it down here, okay? So when it's folded, this is what's going to show. So I want to start with my metallic DSP in my corners. And that's the other side that we're going to be using. Wow, I hope I have not lost you girls. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on here. I think liquid adhesive is best because you definitely want that wiggle room. Let's just do all 4 of those corners. When you're picking your design paper to do this, it's best to have one that has small design. You don't want a really big design because you will lose it. This is Perennial Essence. And this one here is Ornate Garden, which is just lovely. Now the other side, sorry foil, I'm covering you up. How sad. Because you're so gorgeous. You really are. It's coming together. I've got glue on my fingers. You will get inky, or gluey, I mean. You will get gluey. Move that out of the way a little bit. So those are going to get folded in. And you know what? Let's just do that now. I'm going to have to hold that down for just a smidge. I don't think I put enough adhesive down on that one. So I'm doing a double hold. You do not want your glue to ooze out, because then your card is going to get stuck onto itself. So you do want to be careful that you're not over adhesiving. Now do you see how this is going to come together? See, once you play with it a little bit more, it helps. Okay? These little squares are 2 inches by 2 inches. Okay? So what it is I took a 12 by 12 piece of design paper. I cut it in a 2-inch strip, and then I took that 2-inch strip and cut that into 2 inches to make a 2-inch square. And then I put the square in my paper trimmer, right? So I had my square, I put that in my paper trimmer, I made sure this corner and this corner was right in the track, and then I cut it. Makes sense? Who loves the Ornate Garden design paper? Wow. I am so glad we were able to order this ahead of time. It is in the new catalog, which I have not received yet. Anybody making one along with me? Some of you that were at my class last night, I did give you the dimensions of what we were doing. So who's making one? right now? I'd love to know. I would love to know. There we go. I didn't realize that I needed to flip my iPad so I could see the comments, because I was thinking, wow, is there anybody here? So I flipped my iPad and I see that you girls are making them. That's great. That is great. What design paper are you girls? Yeah, you know what, Gail, it's best if you stay in the same design paper family, right? So for instance, let me show you something. Let me do this one first. Let me do that one first. So what you're going to do, for instance, this is from Ornate Gardens, okay? That's one side of it. That is the other side. This was my 2-inch strip, okay? So I had 12 by 12. I cut my 2-inch strip. This was it, okay? So there's one side and there's the other side. Let me show you. Let me show you. Cover this up. Magnolia Lane, okay? It was 12 by 12. I've already cut a strip off of it. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna put your design paper in your paper trimmer at 2 inches. You are going to cut at 2 inches, and then you are going to cut this strip, and all you need is 2 strips of 12 by 2. You need 2 strips, okay? So here's one strip. I would cut another strip, and that's all I need. So let's pretend I've done my 2 inches all the way down, no waste. Then I'm going to take this one strip, and you're going to do that for every one. This corner and that corner. In it goes. Cut it. And here is my square. Okay? There's my square. But now, when I am putting that on my card, I've got this for one area. If I flip this over, this is my other one. You don't have to do any thinking. The paper's going to do the thinking for you. You know, when you get my emails and my signature at the bottom where I say trust the paper, this is the exact thing that I'm talking about. This is trust the paper. This is 2 strips of Ornate Gardens, cut 12 by 2, and then cut in triangles after I've got all my little 2-inch squares. This is one sheet, well, 2 strips from the one sheet. This is 2 strips from the one sheet, okay? I did not grab one sheet of one and one sheet of another. This came from the same sheet. This was one side, this was the other side. This is one side, this is the other side. This is one side, there's the other side. You're letting the paper do the work for you. Trust the paper, okay? So now what we want to do is, I've seen some where they didn't fill that one in. Ooh, I had to fill it. So you know what? Let's go opposite again. So I need that to fill in here. Whoops. I want the adhesive on the foil, or the liquid glue on the foil side. Gail, did that make sense? I hope that helped you. It's one strip on the same design paper. I am loving this. Ah, I am loving this. I want it. You want to use a small design paper. So for the girls that are putting one together along with me, how fun is that, that we're actually creating together? What design paper are you using? I would love to know. Yeah, you know what? When you're using your Stampin' Up! Design paper, you're not wasting it. I mean, look at it. Look at it. You're not wasting it. And I'm sorry. I'm not here to smash other design paper, but I like my Stampin' Up! Design paper. What can I say? There is actually a lot of beautiful design paper out there. Echo Park makes beautiful design paper. So does Bobo Bunny. But you gotta know what you're buying. You gotta know what you're buying. Look at, oh, don't you love it? I love it. So I am using the last of my two little squares here, and this whole thing and that other one, that was two 12 by 2 strips of design paper. That was it. I am not going to stamp my sentiment on here because I haven't really decided what I want this to be. But this here, let me measure that just so that I know. This is a 4 by 4 sheet of Very Vanilla. So I would stamp my sentiment first on in my Stamparatus, and then I would adhere it to the center of my card. Do you love this? So I would then adhere that to the center of my card, and these, right, those are coming in, this is coming in, this is coming in, and everything else will automatically fold on its own. Look at that. Look at that. So if you don't want the same design here through the whole card, you want to make sure, like what I could have done was I could have flipped this Why did that one turn out differently? But you know what? I love this. There's no wrong. There really is no wrong. I'm just wondering why, when I close this, why I have yeah, I don't know. I can't figure that out. And my head is hurting today. My head is hurting today. But I absolutely love this. So then what you're going to do is you're going to make a belly band, okay? So you know that when this is folded, you've got a little bit more than 4 inches, okay? So we've got about, if we have about, well, let's see. So if I did, that's 4.5, and I wish I had a piece of, well, you know what? Let's cut a strip of design paper for 2 inches because I'm going to use it anyway. So if I cut a strip of design paper 2 inches, and I am pretending that this is my belly band, but I'm going to want, obviously, well, that actually doesn't look too bad, but it's not from the same family, right? You want it to be able to slip nicely off and on. You don't want it too tight. So if I kind of eyeball this, and I say right about there, let's cut a 2-inch strip off of here. And I already have kind of my fold marks. So there is, if I cut 2 inches off, which means this was 12, so now I've got 10 inches, correct? I would want a piece of black cardstock under here, just so that I have a stronger belly band, okay? So you're gonna cut your black cardstock about 2 inches by 10. If you don't want it this wide, then just go 1.5. But I love the 2 inches. What did I do here? This belly band is 1.5 inches, okay? So however much of a depth that you want, you decide that, and then you're gonna cut your cardstock, your black cardstock, at, let's say, 2 inches by 10. You're going to adhere that together after you put your design paper on top of it, okay? So you're gonna go 2 inches by 10 with your cardstock. You're going to go a little bit smaller with your design paper so that you see a little bit of a border. So you could go, if this is 2 inches, you could go like 2.25 inches, okay? And then center that onto your strip of cardstock. Put your adhesive down. I would suggest a strong adhesive, like a tear and tape, so that you've got your belly band, and then that will just slip off and on. So here we go. This is Perennial Essence. This one here is, oh, my brain, Ornate Garden. And this here, when I complete it, but I'm not going to do that live with you because I'm going to let you go, this here will be Magnolia Lane. So see how beautiful that will be? This will be Magnolia Lane. And you know what? When I cut these, I actually, on purpose, I put them in 2 different piles, because these ones here of Magnolia Lane, as you can see, I ended up with more of a flower, right? So I wanted to be very careful about what I set on this pile, because it shows more of the flower than these ones. See how this one got cut off a lot? So that would be there. Do you see it coming together? So here there's more of a flower. I want that one, my adhesive, to be underneath that one, and use that for you see that? That's how that is going to go. And then these ones were a little bit less. Look at that. I love this silly card. Love, love, love. Right? And then there's my 4x4. That's going to go in the center. I would want this one to be Whisper White, not very vanilla. So that's something that you definitely want to keep in mind, okay? When you're choosing your cardstock color, always choose it according to what your design paper background color is. So these ones here have more of a flower showing, and ta-da and ta-da. So there's the card in Magnolia Lane. So that's what this would look like, and then these corners are going to get adhered back down onto themselves, like so. Okay, all of these corners would be back down onto themselves. I am going to, it looks like a patchwork quilt. Thank you so much for popping by. It's been a pleasure hanging with you, and yeah, it was really nice to do this with you. Again, sorry that I was late. Shaw's fault. Can I blame that on Shaw? But anyway, it's not their fault. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for coming anyway. Thanks for hanging in there with me, although I was very late. You are a blessing to me. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And if you watch Survivor, I hope your person wins tonight, whoever that person is. I have no idea who you're going for. Dean and I are Survivor geeks. Yes, I will admit that. We are Survivor geeks, and so we are survivoring tonight. So with that, I bid you adieu. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much for popping by, and I hope to see you here again next week, Wednesday at 3:30. Bye-bye.